Welcome back. In this video, you'll learn the fire element sense organ Qigong from Malik Cotter. Take some deep breaths as you participate and follow along.
Now we'll do the sense organ exercise for the heart. Let's get our hands like magic wands of light. Get them nice and clean and clear with energy. These hands are your tools. And if you look at the hands, they're at the same level as the heart, so the hands are an extension of the heart. Rub the palms together. And let's just wash our face, bathe our face, going up and out. And now we'll go from hairline to center of eyebrows with the fingertip pads going up and down, stimulating the blood vessels. And now we'll do taking the fingers and we'll be wiping out in this direction, just friction rubbing on the skin to create the blood dilation so the blood can have more exposure to the skin. This is how, if a lot of people actually, I remember being in school one year in Chengdu in Sichuan province, and I used to see all these college students sitting around in the morning doing these exercises, and I didn't understand it until I started to question and ask, and my professor clued me in. But this was one of the more common ones they were doing, is this. That was 50 wipes. It's going to get more blood to my skin. It's going to prevent wrinkles. It's going to help heal any skin. It's going to luxuriate the complexion. Third part, fingertips. This is called raking the scalp. Now, what this exercise will do is, because the heart is in charge of the head and the complexion, so what we're doing with this is actually by raking the scalp, we're stimulating blood vessels. This is what you use to create thicker hair, to have more luster in your hair, to keep your hair, to have more healthy hair. But it stimulates the brain. You get the blood vessels moving. We're stimulating blood into the brain itself and the scalp. So let's rake, just kind of go over with your fingertips, slight nails. You don't need to be too vigorous or too rough on yourself. Go easy. Now that was 36. You can do it more or less. I use the Chinese numerology a lot. 36 being 4 nines. 9 is the maximum yang number single digit, as where 8 is the maximum yin digit single number. You can do variations, sometimes 3, 6, 9. Sometimes you'll use 6 or 8, depending on what your time framing and what you're wanting to do. I'm going to show you how to use your thumbs on the back of your skull at the occipital ridge. What you want to do is you want to put a firm pressure and make little circles. And we want to involve these points very important points at the base of the skull. Actually, extremely important points at the base of the skull. The gallbladder point number 20, Feng Che, is actually we use to take the wind out of the head. Now you think, what's wind in the head? Well, a headwind is what's also known as a headache. Tohun, which means the wind in the head, it means the head turning. We call that vertigo or dizziness. These points remedy that. They also work for memory. I use these points a lot for dementia, senility, loss of memory, poor concentration. So there's a lot to be done with these points in the back of the head. Firm pressure, circles with the thumbs, moving from the outside in and from the inside out. Take the thumbs, bring it to the base of the occipital, base of the back of the skull and the occipital ridge, and just start massaging all along the back of the skull, right at the ridge line, clearing out the tension. But this is going to relax the neck and the upper shoulders. Hit gallbladder 20, bladder 10, governing vessel 15, all these major points back there. Push on the atlas and the axis bones, the first and second cervicals. And breathe and relax. What you're doing is you're not necessarily using muscle. You're extending your heart chi out through your hands into your thumbs. So that's what I'm talking about by massaging the occipital ridge. Something I just wanted to get across to you also is that we have these 3 yin meridians and we have these 3 yang meridians on each arm. The way energy works, I mentioned a point called Lao Gong, right here, pericardium number 8. And if I take my finger and touch, it just touches right under that point. This point is extremely valuable. This is one of the major points in Qigong practice. Because what energy does is you extend your energy down, is it comes through the wrist and into the palm. It goes into the Lao Gong point, into that pericardium 8. And from that point, it then disperses into the fingers, and that's what's coming out. It's the hub, and the fingers and the thumb are the spokes. So the value of this Lao Gong point is extremely important. You'll see this now and more as you go, now that I make mention it to. You'll see it in different meditative postures to where you'll see the thumb will come and touch that point, and then the hand will just fold over it into a nice little yin-yang symbol with the palms for meditative practice. So the Lao Gong point, you'll see it with healers. When healers are putting out energy, it's coming out through the Lao Gong point. It's an extremely valuable point in Chinese medicine. So just know, Lao Gong, it's part of the fire element. It's the pericardium. Now let's end our facial qi practice for the heart. Take the finger and push up here on Renzong, which is right at the base of the nose. Push. And then pinch right in the middle on the upper lip, between the lip and the nose. Just grab it with your finger and pinch. Ending. Make qi in your palms. Qi is going to be the heat. You're feeling the friction heat in your palms. Get that going. And now bathe and wash your face. Energetically, about a quarter inch, half inch off your skin. And then guide that down the conception vessel, all the way down to your lower dantian, or conception vessel point number 6, Qi Hai. Breathe. Relax. Feel how good your head and face feel.